Right now you have 100 ways to have fun: games, music, movies, a screen full of endless entertainment, and it feels like a modern luxury, something that only exists because life finally got easy. But that's wrong. Tens of thousands of years ago, in a world of predators, hunger, and constant danger, ancient humans did something that makes no logical sense. They stopped surviving to play. They made music, they painted, they gambled, danced, and laughed around the fire. So here's the strange question. Why would humans fighting to stay alive waste precious time and energy on fun? The answer reveals something surprising about what it truly means to be human. We picture prehistoric life as pure survival: hunt, eat, sleep, repeat forever. Grim, exhausting, joyless. But the evidence buried in caves across the world tells a completely different story. Our ancestors weren't just enduring life, they were enjoying it. They carved instruments, painted masterpieces, invented games, and decorated their bodies, all while facing a world that could kill them any day. And the deeper archaeologists dig, the clearer it becomes. Fun wasn't a distraction from being human. It may be one of the very things that made us human in the first place. Let's start with music. In a cave in southern Germany called Hohle Fels, archaeologists found a flute, carved from the wing bone of a vulture, with 5 carefully drilled finger holes. It's around 40,000 years old, and it's the oldest undisputed musical instrument ever found. Think about that. 40,000 years ago, a human sat in a cold cave and made a flute. Not to hunt, not to eat, but simply to make beautiful sound. And there may be older ones still. In Slovenia, a bone flute possibly made by Neanderthals could be even older, though scientists still argue whether it's truly an instrument. Either way, music is astonishingly ancient. Our ancestors played melodies around the fire tens of thousands of years before recorded history. Then there's art. Deep inside caves like Chauvet and Lascaux, ancient humans painted breathtaking scenes of lions, horses, and bulls, some over 30,000 years old. In Indonesia, cave paintings date back more than 45,000 years, including what may be the oldest storytelling scene ever discovered. These weren't survival diagrams, they were beauty, imagination. People crawling into pitch-black caves by torchlight just to create. And they played games. One of humanity's oldest toys is the knucklebone, small animal ankle bones used like dice for games and gambling for thousands of years across the ancient world. Humans have always loved to compete, to bet, to test their luck. Later came full board games like the 5,000-year-old royal game of The urge to play is written deep into us. They even loved to dress up. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, humans were making shell bead jewelry and grinding ochre into body paint over 70,000 years ago. They cared how they looked, they decorated themselves for beauty, for status, for fun. And here's the twist. The urge to play is older than humanity itself. Watch young apes, they wrestle, chase, and even laugh when tickled. Play is ancient, wired into our closest relatives long before we existed. Fun didn't appear with civilization, we inherited it. There's more. Rhythm and dance likely came before instruments, clapping, stomping, and chanting around fires to bond entire groups. Storytelling too may be tens of thousands of years old. Humans gathered in the dark, spinning tales to entertain and teach. And feasting, ancient sites show evidence of large gatherings and celebrations, sometimes fueled by early forms of alcohol. Long before nightclubs and festivals, humans knew how to throw a party. So why does this matter to you? Because it turns out fun was never frivolous. It was a survival tool. Making music and dancing together bonded groups, building the trust they needed to survive. Games taught skills, strategy, and cooperation. Art and stories passed down knowledge and meaning across generations. Play relieved the crushing stress of a dangerous world. The humans who laughed, created, and connected weren't wasting energy. They were building the glue of human society. Every joke, every song, every game you love is part of that ancient inheritance. When you have fun, you're not escaping your humanity, you're expressing its oldest, deepest core. So the next time you laugh with friends, lose yourself in a song, or get way too competitive over a game, remember where it all began. Not in a modern city, but in a firelit cave, tens of thousands of years ago, where a human carved a flute, painted a wall, or rolled the bones just to feel joy in a brutal world. They had every reason to only survive. Instead, they chose to live. And that choice, to find delight, beauty, and play even in the darkness, is one of the most human things we have ever done. You are still playing that same ancient game. If this made you see fun in a whole new way, subscribe. Every week we bring the forgotten world of ancient humans back to life. And tell me in the comments, what do you think was the very first game humans ever played? I read every reply.